What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a list video of the top 10 project cars you can get for under $5,000. Let's get into the video. The first entry on our list is the C4 Corvette. It's a slice of American muscle for very cheap. The C4 Corvette started production in 1984 all the way through 1996. It's a 90s American muscle car. They're very fun and have an almost 50-50 weight distribution. You can do a ton of different things with these kind of cars. Many people like to drift them, or just track days, or even just a weekend car. It's a very good starter project car, which a decent amount of horsepower, around 245 horsepower starting at. These cars also come with a manual, so that's even better. On to our next entry. Our next entry on the list is the Infiniti G35. The Infiniti G35 is a lot like its brother, the Nissan 350Z, sharing many of the same components except for the styling and interior, including the iconic VQ engine. Some highlights for this car are the aftermarket ability. There are many companies that make a bunch of parts for these cars for fairly cheap too, so they're a great starter project car. Our next project car on this list is the Ford Mustang GT, otherwise known as the SN95 Mustang. The SN95 Mustang GT offers plenty of horsepower to get you around the corner. Just try not to hit a crowd while you're at it. The Mustang GT is a great car, and you can do many different things with it, including drifting. It offers a cheap American muscle car with a 5-speed manual transmission if you want it. These cars go from anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. Depending on the shape the car is in. That's enough of our American cars. Let's get on to some JDM cars. Our next car on this list is the 8th generation Honda Civic. Cheap and reliable fun. These cars are not the fastest on our list, but can definitely still have fun with them. They come in a 5-speed manual transmission with almost 200 horsepower. Plenty, if you ask me. The best part about the 8th generation Honda Civic is the great gas mileage, and they will practically run forever. 200,000 miles on these cars is nothing, so you will not have to worry about reliability issues at all. These cars will run you from anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. The American counterpart of a cheap front-wheel drive fun car is, of course, the Cobalt SS. The Cobalt SS is an interesting part of Chevrolet's history. They come in rather weird configurations. You can either get them turbocharged or supercharged, depending on which model you go for. These cars come in a 5-speed manual transmission and are tons of fun to work on. Cobalt SS's are tons of fun and can get you from anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, which is not that much for what you're getting. That about sums up the American cars on this list. On to our next one. Number 5 on our list is the Mitsubishi Eclipse. You may recognize this car from the Fast and the Furious. The Mitsubishi Eclipse was made from 1990 to 2012 and have about 195 horsepower and come with a 5-speed manual transmission, which offers you tons of fun for how much you're paying, which is about $2,000 to $3,000. These cars have had many different facelifts over the 22 years they've been in production. so it gives you plenty of options on which one you like. Overall, the Mitsubishi Eclipse is a fun and cheap car that you can get. Up next, in the number 4 spot, we have none other than the Scion TC. You don't see too many Scion TCs around, but I still think they're pretty cool. They come with a 5-speed manual transmission with about 179 horsepower, plenty to get you around the town. These cars can range you from anywhere to $3,000 to $5,000, not that much. Scion TCs were produced from 2004 to 2010. Coming in at the number 3 spot is the Acura Integra. Acura Integras come with about 140 horsepower to 195 horsepower. And if that isn't enough for you, Acura Integras are one of the cheapest and easiest cars to swap an engine into. Acura Integras were produced from 1990 all the way to 2003. These cars can range you from $4,000 to maybe even less, depending on the shape of the car. You can often find Integras crawling around autocross events all over the country. At the number 2 spot, we have none other than the Mazda Miata. As you know, Miata is always the answer. The MX-5 Miata has 140 horsepower, which is a bump up from its older brother, the NA Miata, with the pop-ups. It comes with a 5-speed manual transmission and are very light and always at a track day, no matter what time of year. Older Miatas are becoming too expensive, but these are cheap, ranging you from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the shape of the car. Parts for these cars are so cheap, no wonder everyone's buying them. Coming in at the number 1 spot is our first European car on the list, the Porsche 944. Introduced in 1985, these cars were supposed to come in and replace the 911, but that was never successful. Since nobody liked these cars, they've become very cheap, and they offer an almost 50-50 weight distribution, with having the transmission all the way in the back to even out the weight. These cars are not the most reliable thing ever, but will definitely teach you a thing or two about how to work on cars. You will not regret buying one of these, but to get a turbo model, you won't be in the price range any longer. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more epic car content. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.